Welcome to Tales of Terror, the spine-chilling channel that will keep you up at night. If you're a fan of horror, suspense, and macabre, then you've come to the right place. Our channel features a variety of terrifying tales that will send shivers down your spine and make your heart race. So, if you're ready to explore the darker side of storytelling, hit that subscribe button and join our community of horror enthusiasts. We promise to keep the scares coming and the nightmares alive. Welcome to Tales of Terror.
Let's get started. Let's start the story. In the grand tapestry of life, the most inconspicuous misstep has the uncanny power to unleash chaos and upheaval. It may sound incredulous, but I, with unwavering conviction, am a living testament to this truth. I share my story not to seek validation or garner attention, but as a profound reminder that fate can bestow its capricious hand upon anyone, even you. Brace yourself for an account that will captivate your senses and leave an indelible mark upon your soul. I, Jacques, a young man of 24 years, find myself at a crucial juncture in my medical school journey. The final year brings forth an imminent practical exam, a daunting challenge that demands thorough preparation and diligent study. However, a vexing predicament looms over me. To truly excel in my studies, I require a cadaver to practice on, a crucial element that money alone can provide. Alas, my social circle within the confines of the college remains bereft of any close companions, yet I boast a camaraderie with students from other institutions. As the clock strikes 1 o'clock in the afternoon, time continues its relentless march, and I stand at a crossroads, my mind awash with uncertainty. And then, in an unexpected twist, a sinister idea sprouts within the recesses of my thoughts. What if I were to pilfer a corpse from its resting place, only to return it once my studies are complete? Desperate times call for desperate measures, and this is not my first foray into such daring escapades, having successfully liberated 2 lifeless bodies in the past, returning them to their final resting grounds undetected. The cemetery, conveniently located a mere 10-minute walk from my abode, remains shrouded in darkness as I await the veil of nightfall. It is now 2 o'clock in the morning, and I find myself equipped with a bag destined to carry my macabre acquisition, along with rudimentary tools for digging. The streets lie devoid of any soul, as my neighborhood's sparse population is deterred by the proximity of burial grounds. I approach the hallowed gates of the cemetery, and to my surprise, they stand ajar, welcoming my clandestine endeavor. With bated breath, I venture forth, scouring the grounds for a freshly interred grave. Fortune smiles upon me, for it takes but a fleeting moment to locate an untouched resting place, its surface adorned with a thin layer of dust, an unmistakable sign that hours have passed since its last visitor. Commencing my excavation, I delve deep into the earth, unearthing the steps that lead me closer to my goal. A pause in my labor allows me to catch my breath, illuminated by the glow of my phone screen. Though the topic at hand may instill dread in most, the nature of my mission is far from nefarious. Exercise caution, for I am about to extract knowledge from these silent vessels, respecting their sacrifice in the name of medical education. Descending into the grave's depths, I embarked on my search for a buried corpse. And there, amidst the darkness, I found her, a mere silhouette concealed beneath the burial shroud. The shape of the body eluded me, but my gaze settled upon the lifeless form of a young girl. An initial hesitation gripped my conscience, uncertain of extracting her fragile existence, but faced with an absence of alternatives, I pressed forward into the night's embrace. All this time, her countenance remained hidden from my view, veiled in mystery. With trembling hands, I unveiled her face, and before me stood the epitome of ethereal beauty, a sight that left me dumbfounded, contemplating the forces at play in the cosmos. The worker's warning echoed in my mind, forbidding the touch of my scalpel upon her delicate frame, yet there existed no room for debate. Time urged me onward, urging me to complete my task and restore her to her rightful place before the break of dawn. With the scalpel in hand, I commenced my work, only to be seized by an otherworldly sensation. The corpse's form exhibited signs of respiration, her abdomen rising and falling in an eerie mimicry of life. Perturbed, I ceased my incisions, fixating my gaze upon her, frozen in a mixture of awe and trepidation. The corpse, against all reason, continued to breathe, standing before me in a state of terrifying animation. Never before had I experienced such a confluence of emotions, my heart racing, my eyes wide and parched, a lingering tinge of yellow staining my complexion, as perspiration cascaded down my face. How could a lifeless body respire? Compelled to draw closer, to continue my dissection, a strange cacophony pervaded the air, heartbeats, not my own, not originating from the deceased. Yes, the sound emanated from her, a pulse coursing through her veins, despite her pallid complexion and the unmistakable signs of death that gripped her visage. It defied logic, for her body possessed an unsettling hue of blue, her face ashen, devoid of the crimson life force. These were the telltale markers of her demise, yet here she stood, breathing, alive. Resolute in my mission, I ventured further, carving open her abdomen. And there, within her womb, lay an astonishing revelation, a fetus, nestled in its sanctuary, pulsating with vitality. Its tiny form breathed the breath of life, an inconceivable paradox. How could this child thrive within her lifeless vessel? Baffled and uncertain, I pondered my next course of action regarding the peculiar presence of the fetus. I couldn't leave it within the lifeless vessel, nor could I extinguish the flicker of life that persisted within the unborn child. A decision took hold in my mind. I would carefully remove the fetus from her womb and place it in a safe spot on the street, close to a shelter. There, it would be granted a chance at survival. With a delicate touch, I extracted the child from the womb, blood staining my hands. Seeking to cleanse the infant, I hurried to the bathroom, intending to wash away the traces of its birthing. But as I returned to the room, a chilling realization struck me. The body of the deceased was nowhere to be found. It had been right here on the table, of that I was certain. How had it vanished into thin air? Traces of blood on the floor led me on a grim trail, culminating in the wardrobe. How had the corpse managed to move and find solace within the confines of this closet? Gathering my courage, I cautiously opened the cupboard, fearful of what awaited me. And there, standing before me, with eyes wide open, stood the deceased. The sight was too overwhelming, causing me to lose consciousness, crumpling to the ground. When I regained my senses, the lifeless body lay motionless beside me. But how had it managed to navigate the physical realm when it was undeniably deceased? Questions swirled in my mind, seeking answers I could not fathom. Resolute in my purpose, I journeyed back to the cemetery, slipping into the tomb where the stolen corpse belonged. With careful reverence, I placed the body back in its rightful resting place, hoping to appease the unsettling forces that seemed to defy the natural order. Turning my attention to the child, I ventured onto the streets, seeking a suitable location near an orphanage where it could find solace. Fatigue weighed heavily upon me, each step a laborious endeavor. However, as I approached my home, an unexpected sound reached my ears. The faint cries of the child echoed, accompanied by a woman's voice, sweetly serenading it. The source of these ethereal sounds emanated from the very wardrobe that held such enigmatic secrets. Intrigued yet apprehensive, I approached the closet with the utmost caution, gradually opening its doors. And there, within its mysterious depths, I beheld the child once again. How could this be? The inexplicable circumstances surrounding the child's existence both confounded and beguiled me. How did the child appear again here? I took the baby, I ran down the street, I put him in front of the shelter again, and then I came home again. As I stepped inside, a deep silence enveloped the house, encased in an eerie stillness. Instinctively, I gravitated toward the closet, expecting to find the baby again, only to discover an empty void deep inside. Exhaustion tugged at my weary limbs, lulling me to sleep. Yet even in my attempts to find relief, the baby's cries and the aching melody of a woman's voice continued, echoing through the rooms of my mind. Having to search for answers, I approached the closet, confident that the child would reveal itself again. However, when I was terrified, the expected scene eluded me, because the source of the sound had come from under the bed. Lowering myself gently to the floor, I looked under the bed frame, only to meet the horrified countenance of the deceased, clutching the child, tears streaming down her face. It was a horrific sight. The corpse sought to harm the child, a frightening realization that struck at the very core of my being. Determined to protect innocent lives, she hastened to the kitchen and took a knife with the intent of severing the deceased's fist, as the child's survival depended on it. Back in the room, my heart was pounding, and I discovered a disturbing absence, the absence of any tangible evidence or sounds. This baffling situation continued for over a month, with the corpse and the child looming over me, haunting me every moment. Few others could be aware of their existence, and they left me to grapple alone with this damned affliction that threatened to consume my sanity. Desperate to find a solution, my mother pleaded with me to seek the guidance of several sheiks and charlatans, those who claimed to have the knowledge to lift this ominous curse that had befallen me. I set out on a quest for liberation, eager to sever the ties that bound me to the tormented soul of the woman I had wronged. This separation, in all its horrors, happened more than 5 years ago. Whispers that reached my ears from the world of tombs unveiled the tragic tale, the story of a woman murdered by her husband, and her troubled soul seeking revenge for her untimely demise. You may be wondering why I chose to reopen this long-buried topic. It was not my intention to go back to her depth, but yesterday my wife blessed me with the news of her pregnancy. Fear gripped my heart, for I am haunted by the ghost of my past misdeeds. I appeal to the above authorities for a solution, to spare my son the consequences of my action.
Today's story is over. Our stories are not over yet. See you tomorrow in a new day of horror. Goodbye.